Hey, this is Web Suspect, and I have, for the last 5 hours, I didn't know how long it would take, been snapping this together. It is the drive model for what I'm calling the giga solar battery Unitrolley transportation system. Unitrolley transportation. We've all seen these things at amusement parks, but for the sake of whatever, I'm just I'm giving it that name. So we've all seen these things. They roll pretty easy. Now what I did is I just grabbed the 2x2 and I was going to make it so it fits on a 2x2. And I'm going to get a longer 2x2. And so this is the bottom part. If you've ever watched how these things work, they just have a big wheel on the front and the back of each section and some guide wheels. Now ideally I think this would pivot and there'd be 2 guide wheels in the front, 2 in the back, but this is just a simple demo model and you can buy these. What I am going to do is I'm going to add a smart controller to this. I have a smart controller that I can program with, it sounds real complicated but it's not, object-oriented programming or high-level programming. And then there's 2 bands that I have that I can snap here. These are motors and they turn the wheels, right? So it's just real simple. I mean, we've all seen these. They have them in a lot of, when you get to Florida, they have one that takes you from the airport to the parking lot. They have one at Hershey Park. They have one at Disney World and Disneyland. They've been around for about 50 years. So, okay, somebody protested right away as soon as I mentioned it. I knew they would, and I'm not gonna put money in this. I'm not. It's not a money thing. It's just an idea, actually. Okay. So once you have this built, you add your smart controller. Typically, these things, which I'm calling Unitrolley, have a live wire. So like on this side is a wire and this side is a wire, and then there's a pickup that touches either side and drives along. With this model, it would have a battery deck right here, and solar panels. I think the solar array could be off of the item. I've been meaning to show this forever. This is my smallest solar charge controller, and the battery deck for this would actually take these batteries, and if I had 8 of these, I could charge them all with this small solar charger and run this whole Unitrolley off of that. Here's the other batteries. I have 4 here, so I would need 2 or 4 more. This might be enough to run it, but I doubt it. And so Giga Solar Battery Unitrolley would, for the sake of argument, not using that name that everybody always calls it, they say why? Okay, why? Unitrolley would generate carbon credits for real. You could charge its solar battery off the grid. You wouldn't need infrastructure to support it. So in other words, I have a rail here. Normally you would need to have somebody come in and weld rails on. Then you would have to spec rail pickups here and here, and it would be 240 volts or whatever you need to run it. With this model, each car is a separate unit. You can have an infinite number of cars. You could have 20 cars, and what would happen is each car would talk to each other car, and okay, so the cars decide I'm going 0 miles per hour, then they would all stop. Then the cars say I'm going 5 miles per hour, the cars would all go. You'd have a front car and a back car. The front car and the back car could be the same car, and each part in the middle could be the same. And you'll have 2 configurations, one with seats and one with non-seats. So let's say Unitrolley was going through your factory, or Unitrolley could go all the way from Giga Factory to Giga Plant and take batteries from place A to place B on its own, because it's going to have a smart control. And for the model here, I just made touch sensors. So once it hits something, boom, it stops. But I mean, you could add all kinds of smart sensors. That's just what I have on there. So there's a whole bunch of reasons why. For its own division. Okay, so now you have a product that Doesn't need infrastructure. All I need is a concrete rail, you know, specified to a certain size. Boom. You could even make it so it has forklift legs on it, or a boom truck, or a crane could drop it in. Boom. Then you unload your cars, you're set. Now let's say you wanted to do a fair or something. Boom, put Unitrolley in, take Unitrolley out, move it to Africa or something. Wherever. You could move this. So there's like a half a dozen or a dozen reasons why. Engineering, why does said project need an engineering team of its own? I don't think said project would need. Basically, what this all started with me was I met somebody who was very good at this last year, and I got beat down. I got tired of dealing with it. It's too many people, you know, the government keeps talking about STEM, science, technology, engineering, manufacturing, but the jobs all left the country. So what are you going to do, work in a grocery store? Like, there are so many intelligent people that work in a grocery store you would never think of. Stockbrokers, policemen. You know, once you stop saying no I can't and you say yes I can, then all new possibilities come up. You can have this product move up and down slight slopes. I would say right there is like kind of like bottom line, but I mean, as long as the tires can grip and there's battery power, it'll climb. People run these things 20, 30, 50 feet all the time with gradual grade. And NASA, I could see NASA buying this to get, because NASA, Cape Canaveral is such a big place. Yeah, I mean, as I was saying, a small engineering team, 5 or 10 people, because all you got to do is design your front and back car. It's basically like the other product. Some of the parts for the other product could be used. The gear ratios would be different because this wouldn't go like 120 miles an hour. I think this would go 50 or 70 miles an hour. So the gear reduction could be half. And what else? I'm probably missing a lot of stuff. But this doesn't need a lot of engineering. And 5 or 10 people could make models of this. People could talk about what's the best approach. As I want to say, it's a free, an open source model. But I mean, everybody knows about all these things. There was a patent up for a battery powered one on the internet. But I mean, come on, a battery powered this thing, like the patent's probably already expired 30 years ago, I would imagine. But I don't know, check it out. Tell me what you think. Build one of these if you're working for a company that's sort of going in this direction. Build one and show me a model of what you got.